we are. We're doing it. We're live on,
All right.
on YouTube.
What's up, YouTube?
So yeah, what is up? We are finally smart enough to figure out how to stream directly on YouTube this time.
Yeah.
We are safeties off.
We should tell people.
What?
You keep going. We might get.
Oh, but we're safeties off, and I'm Kael, and
I'm Justin.
And we are here today to do something a little different than what we have been doing. We're going to try and add some of this stuff, I think, going forward, where we're going to sit here and kind of go through and talk about our recent event that we just had, our Slap 'em on the Sunburn GT that we had this past weekend, which was June 28th and 29th. So, and we figured we'd kind of sit down and talk to you guys about what stuff happened at that, go through some of the lists, talk about some other things.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, right?
Mostly just a GT recap.
Just GT recap.
So it's, just something we want to try to branch out into something besides just battle reports, because 4-hour battle report versus a 20-30 minute video.
That's fair. Yeah, we want to do some other cool stuff. Where do you want to start with the GT today, dude?
Well, we're coming off the heels of our first 40-man GT. So,
Yeah, that's pretty big, right?
Yeah, that's pretty dope. So I guess we could just go through the placings first, and then we can talk about some lists. We got 3 IKs, so it'd be a little easy to go through them probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I don't think any of these lists are gonna be that
Pretty standard.
complicated to go through, but it's gonna be fun to talk about them at least. Talk about what we got going on there. All right, so the placings. So I've got the top 5 up on screen currently.
Okay.
You want to talk a little bit about any of those? We got Jonathan Arkin from Happy Crumpin Wargaming took first place. Was our single undefeated.
Our single
of the weekend.
We ended up with a big draw on round 4, so we ended up with only 1 undefeated. But
I thought it was round 3 that happened.
I think that was day 2, was it not?
No, it was the end of day 1.
Oh, it was the end of day 1.
Yeah, it was the end of day 1. Yeah, it was round 3 that happened. Andrew Vodder and Robert Birmingham.
we had a couple of top table games like that played out on day 1.
Yeah, well, games that could have been the final game to decide the whole thing that happened way early on in the thing. It was wild. It was so weird.
Yeah.
How those pairings went.
Let's preface a little bit. So we did layouts 1 and 7.
That's right. We did those 2 things, and
they were randomly dispersed. And we did Scorched Earth, Supply Drop, Linchpin, Hidden Supplies, and then we finished it off with a nice simple take and hold.
Yeah, and I think that was a good mix, if I do say so, being the person who chose all of those missions.
Yeah, I mean, I like those missions a lot. I wish we could have got a Terraform. I like the new Terraform, but
I wish we could have too. But
I don't think on these layouts it worked.
No, it didn't work with the layouts that we had. That is what happened.
We didn't do a purge.
We did not do a purge because we talked about that, and we talked about the fact that generally we've had a lot of complaints about where purge is placed in the order of missions, because a lot of people, for a lot of the top table lists or potential top table lists, it can be a big make or break. Purge can really be swingy for some of those lists sometimes, and so I know. We had some people in the past who had very strong feelings about where purge should be placed in the grand order of things.
I mean, I think if we're going to do purge, I like the suggestion we got from one of our last GTs, where purge is on the first of the day, or like the first mission.
Yeah.
We're going to do a purge, but Scorched Earth was my least favorite, so we did it first instead.
And what I saw from Scorched Earth, and it's what I always see with Scorched Earth, which is that there's not a lot of actually burning the objectives going on unless somebody is just giving the other player an absolute drubbing. Like, if you're just barely scratching out a win, or if you are losing, you're not typically usually committing a lot of resources to actually burning objectives. And so they don't end up getting burnt a lot, I find.
That's probably even more of a good argument for it being the first one because you're gonna have the largest discrepancy of player skill.
Yeah.
So
Well, that was our logic there. We did actually talk about this prior to the
Yeah.
thing.
So people are gonna get like people that are gonna lose no matter what.
Yeah,
Are
it's not gonna
probably
create
gonna
these, it's
lose
not gonna
harder.
create these weird, drastic disparities that you can get from some of the other potential placements of missions and things like that.
It could just be like later in the event, it could be just determine who goes second, and it could just be
Yeah, it can literally just give that huge advantage to a second player.
so.
Yeah, so that is why we chose for it to go first because it was the least, it was the most swingy, least standard of all the missions that we chose. Everything else, most of the time, you're going to have pretty consistent scoring on, except for supply drop, I guess, can be pretty swingy too.
Is that the double one or is that the disappear one?
That's the disappearing objectives one. But we put that, second round?
Supply drop. Yeah, we did supply drop second. So I mean, like the biggest complaint that I ever heard about it was just that if like the center and the side disappeared, and so now
But they fixed that.
in the new mission pack, you're guaranteed to have the center. So that was like the biggest complaint that I always heard. So
Yeah, and I didn't hear anybody say anything about supply drop at this event actually, so that's pretty exciting.
no, I mean we ran the new supply drop and we ran the new hidden supplies. And
People
we-
seem to like the new hidden supplies.
Yeah, and we did the new layout 7. That was pretty big too. It was we didn't really realize that this piece blocked a night base from going through freely.
Yeah,
But I guess
but that's what happens because you have that little 4-inch gap there, and that means a baby knight can go through, but a big knight, even turned sideways, the base is like 4.25 inches, 4.5 inches across at its widest point, so it can't get through without them having to take a battle shock test.
and on G-Dub this is a 4-inch gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean I think it unintentionally probably worked out pretty good to maybe help mitigate night a little bit because.
Yes, but we still had a lot of knights
Knights.
in the top.
Yeah, in the
so,
top.
I mean, like,
Yeah, in the top
eh.
in the top 8 X and 1 bracket, we had 4 knights.
Yeah.
So it's still, I mean, maybe it helped the players out a little bit, but it obviously didn't help them out that much.
Yeah. So.
But
Okay. Well, so all that said, that was kind of the little like setup to what happened.
Yep.
Where do we want to go? Do we want to talk about some of these top lists? Go through those a little bit, or what's our next?
yeah, let's talk about
Agenda
all. I'll
Yeah. So let's take a look at
Jonathan.
Jonathan Arkin's.
This was
list here.
this was Happy Crumping Wargaming.
That's right.
I
That's
never
right.
never seen him before, but he came out and won our event. So
I have watched him. Many
Kudos to
times,
him.
and he's a great
Yeah.
guy. It was awesome to meet him because he was just as cool in person as he is on his stream, honestly. So
yeah,
um,
it came down to him
him versus Seth Piper's Eldar.
Seth Piper Eldar for the final,
Yeah.
and that was a super tight, super clean game. Like
God, it was beautiful to watch two really good players play each other and be awesome sportsmanship, very technical players, just doing everything right.
What was the score on that last game?
The score on that last game, it was, let's see, I can just pull it up in
Uh-oh.
a different
I
way.
didn't even
That was the thing I didn't have pulled up. It's like
Yeah,
a
I
one
forgot
thing
all
I
about.
didn't
Well,
have
it's
pulled up.
it's really only kind of relevant for the
So it
final.
was a 91-80.
So that was a pretty close
Very
game.
close game. Very
Yeah.
close.
Good job to both
So,
of those guys.
Yeah,
for
no,
doing
awesome. Two awesome players.
That. I think we only had like one judge call, and it was like a very questionable line of sight where there was like a sliver of a gun and a sliver of a base, and it was so tight. I just rolled off for it because.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me read the list off to you, and then we can talk about it for a minute here.
Okay.
So we got in this list, we have it is a Liberator Assault Group Blood Angel list, and we have Mephiston. We got Commander Dante,
Yeah.
the Sanguinor.
Yeah.
We have a Captain with Jump Pack with Rage Fueled Warrior enhancement.
That's
So
a
that's
cool
the
guy.
Sustain 3.
Yeah.
Then we have a Chaplain with Speed of the Primarch, which is the once per game fights first.
Yeah. I seen. It looked like he used that. I a handful of his games. It looked like he used that as a late game piece.
Yeah.
He had all the characters, all the Blood Angel guys.
He had
Except
that's a lot of characters.
he didn't have Asterath and Lamart.
No.
And the most curious thing I thought about his list was I was questioning why he did the Lancers over Ballistices, because it seemed like on my first glance it seemed like maybe a Ballistices would have been better, but but I did get a chance to ask him and he had a good explanation of he said the Ballistices were just good for killing transports, whereas the Lancers can actually threaten battle tanks because they're AP4. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
he did tell me.
Let me tell you what's in the rest of the list.
Oh yeah,
beyond the Lancers. We just got through the characters.
Oh, we did. Oh yeah.
So he had all those characters, and then he had a 5-man JPI.
Yeah.
6-man Blade Guard, 5-man Infiltrator Squad, which my infiltrators got to guest star as being his infiltrators all weekend, and I was very honored that got to happen, and they got to come back to me maybe with some luck.
That's the best your infiltrators have ever done.
That is the best they've ever done.
They're veterans now.
They played for somebody else.
Yeah, they won. Hey, they won the GT.
He had a 6-man Sangard Squad, a 5-man South Squad, 2 Ball Predators, 2 Gladiator Lancers, and an Impulsor.
Oh yeah, the ball Predators were cool.
Man, those Ball Predators, I've been wanting some Ball Predators for quite some time, and I think now I am 100% convinced.
I think it's a pretty small drop. I think it was 13 drops.
Yeah, it's really not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot of units. It's a very interesting list in general. It's a little different than the Blood Angel stuff that I usually run, but I mean, honestly, I think I need to look at some of those kind of things to make to do this. So I might try and copy some of his tech here.
He did say that if he took the Ballistices over the Lancers, that he could get an intercessor squad. So probably still a valid list.
Yeah, I think there's stuff that I like about this list. There's stuff that is not necessarily to my play style.
Yeah. Since I'm building out Space Wolves right now, I was really interested because I've been thinking about, well, maybe I'll throw it, but like the game we played on stream where the Ballistas just Chad lived the whole time. Yeah. In the middle, like, good God.
So I mean, there's ups and downs to every different choice you can make. Like the Ballistas does mainly just, it has the 2 crack missile shots, the 2 las cannon shots. It gets the rerolls baked in, and then it has like a little piddly storm bolter. And the Lancer has a lot more gun to it for just like trash gun. Like it's got the big gun which can threaten big battle tanks and stuff. Yeah. I've always found it to be really inconsistent for me because of the fact that it only gets 2 shots. And if you start shooting at any of the big stuff that has any kind of invulnerable save to it,
it does get a reroll to hit, wound, and damage. Though.
It does. It does get that. It does get its cool baked-in reroll, and it does have a lot more shots when you get up close to it with like trash stuff, like when you got a lot of little bolters and stubbers and the little Icarus, whatever gun. Yeah. It's got a lot of just like little crap on it. And I like Lancers. I've used them a bunch of times. I own 3 of them, so I'm not anti-Lancer. I just started to find them to be, like I say, a little inconsistent for me. Especially there was points where a lot of the stuff I was aiming them at had a 4-up invulnerable save or a way to make their save be a 4-up.
I played a really similar list to this with my T-Sons, and it was 1 Ball Predator, 1 Ballistas, and 1 Lancer. And I was like, when I played that game, I was really scared of the Overwatch of the Ball Predator, and I was definitely more scared for my Vortex Beast of the Lancer than of the Ballistas.
Well, so that's fair. I mean, we do have to kind of, I guess, look at the opposite perspective. So, I mean, but overall, cool list. Lots of toolboxy stuff. Lots of big melee threat shit as well. Yeah.
Pretty balanced list.
Yeah, really. Like. I mean, it seems like he had just all the tools to succeed in all of his games, and that's what happened. Yeah. So, I mean, good job to Jonathan. He did a great job.
He had a very close game on round 4. He had a super close game in the IK. I think I didn't watch his reaction video. I played it for a second. I think I heard him say in the video that was maybe his toughest matchup, and just based on the scores, I'd say that it must be true because I think it was a 4-point win over.
Yeah, that was a much smaller gap on that one.
Yeah, it was a 4-point win on layout 1, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was on the layout that's a little bit better for knights than the other one we had. So, yeah. But overall, I mean, good stuff. Good stuff. So let's talk about our second place list now.
Yeah, our second place list.
That was our good pal Andrew Vaughter.
Yeah. He had a bunch of big knights, is all I saw.
He did. Yeah. That's so he has got Canis Rex.
Yeah.
He's got an Atropos.
Yeah.
He's got a Knight Errant with the so that's the Thermal Spear Reaper Chainsword Bro. He's got a Warden, which has the Gatling Cannon Heavy Flamer, and the Thunderstrike Gauntlet, and it had an enhancement Mythic Hero. I'm not sure that I know what that one does.
Ooh, I can't remember either. It's not the teleport one.
Well, I can look it up because we're still in Index, I guess, on Imperial Knights. So and then he had three Warglaives and a Calidus Assassin.
Yeah.
So I mean that.
I talked to Valder a little bit about his list. So we just played Valder last weekend doing some ATC practice.
Yeah, that was a super fun day.
Yeah, with the Steiner Math boys, and Valder played our Eldar guy and got demolished. Like round one, the Fire Dragon.
Oh, he got to give an extra bondsman ability out with that knight. Big Knight was what that was. So that makes sense. That makes perfect sense as to why you would take that, what that does for your army. Like so.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, he was saying that the -1 damage on the War Dogs kept his War Dogs alive like numerous times when I think they would have otherwise died.
Yeah.
And he said specifically from our ATC practice that he got dumped on by Eldar. He was like, I put this the Gatling cannon in my list specifically to get Eldar.
Yeah.
And then he got paired into our same Eldar guy round one, and he was like,
and it paid off for him. He won.
Yeah, he won, but going into the game, he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh God!" We thought he was gonna die on round one.
Oh yeah, I was like, "Oh my goodness gracious, how did this happen?"
I was like,
I think he gave me a little bit of the evil eye when that happened. I think he thinks I did it on purpose.
Yeah, he definitely did.
I didn't, Potter.
He was like,
on purpose, brother.
He was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Dude, it was all random, man," and he won it. So. But I was glad. I mean, it was our guy versus him, so it was like. Either way, I was like, this is gonna be a good outcome.
No, I mean, it was a good game. It sounds like from everything that I heard about it. So.
Yeah, like sometimes the Fire Dragons do crazy
Sometimes
things.
the Fire Dragons do God's work, and then sometimes they don't do
yeah.
it. And
sometimes they don't.
I mean, this is a lot of beef, man. I mean, these big knights going down in price a lot has really. I mean, he can get all those big knights and a few little knights and a Calidus Assassin. It's just easy to see why this list is good. Just really easy. It's not complicated. I don't have much more to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
So let's go down to our third place list here. Seth Piper.
All right, I watched a lot of Seth's games, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him about his list at all.
So I mean, he's got Eldari Warhost list, and so what we got here, we got a lot of characters. Characters are gotta have a lot of characters right now, apparently. He's got a Sermon, a regular Autarch with the Timeless Strategist enhancement. He had Eldrad Ulthran, Fuegan, Jane Zaire, and Lycus, the Warp Spider girl.
A lot of Exarchs.
Yeah, a lot of Exarchs. We had, it's Warhost, man.
Warhost, that's my favorite.
So then we got Guardian Defenders, double Wave Serpent action.
Was it double Wave Serpent or a Wave Serpent and a Falcon?
2 waves. Hold on, man.
Oh, okay.
2 Wave Serpents.
Yeah.
A 5-man Dire Avenger, a Falcon.
Okay, I know I've seen a Falcon on the table.
2 5-man Fire Dragons. 2 5-man Howling Banshees.
Yeah.
Rangers. 2 Warwalkers, and a squad of 5 Warp Spiders.
Yeah, we never got a chance to talk to him about the choice for the Warwalkers, but obviously it worked out for him.
Well, I mean, I think the thing with Warwalkers in my mind is, I mean, they're 85 points for what they do.
He did. He played one of our strong locals on game 1, and I do know that. I do know that like a Warwalker, I think, survived the Tyrannifex to hold an objective.
Yeah, they are pretty ridiculously durable, really, at the grand scheme of things, and especially for 85 points. Like again, like his list just has
There are
There's
annoying.
so much stuff in this list, man.
They're annoying to kill.
Yeah, this is.
They don't have a 4-up anymore, though, do they?
I don't think so.
I think it's just a 5-up now, maybe.
Let's see. I'll pull that up. You know, I do have the capacity. We do have.
We
I
do.
do have the technology to look up information
Oh.
about things.
It's not a huge deal.
Well, I mean, you know, it is cool to talk about things when we can actually talk about the rules and what they actually do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what Warwalker do.
Well, let's see what they do now. So
I know.
Warwalkers now, they do have a 5-up invulnerable save. They are T7 with 6 wounds, 3-up, 5-up, and then
Like 2 Bright Lances.
oh, that's pretty cool. Well, he gave him a Bright Lance and a missile launcher,
Interesting.
which I would like to talk to him about some of the logic behind why he chose that. But I'm sure we'll get a chance to, since he's gonna be coming on stream at some point, right? You told me.
Yeah, he seems like he's wants to come down and play some stream games. So we'll have some.
Yeah, we'll have some time to quiz him on his Eldar choices.
We'll have some very competitive stream games.
Yeah. So what they do, their ability now though, so they've got scouts, and they have the ability to when they've shot at something, then anything else that shoots at it for the rest of the shooting phase gets +1 AP.
Oh, okay.
So I can 100% see why that's really, really good on an 85-point unit
Okay.
with a baked-in invuln save, fast movement, a scout move.
Notably, he didn't have any Dark Reapers. Which,
No Dark Reapers.
Which that's
Only one Autarch too.
I ran Dark Reapers in Warhost, and sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they just didn't do stuff.
Yeah, I mean that is unfortunately.
Whenever I play against
The
Dark
reality.
Reapers, they just murder me.
Yeah, I mean.
My Dark Reapers were like, nah. they're like brand new.
Well, guess I'm getting ready to feel that reality when I start playing some Eldar at some point here.
Yeah, man. I have it all ready for you. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean these, this list, it seems really cool. Like everything about it, again, just he's got a lot of tools. So a lot of these top lists, what I'm seeing is they have a wide variety of tools to handle almost anything that you could throw at them. At least one thing to handle most possible possibilities.
Yes.
They are really well prepared, really versatile, able to, have stuff that is capable of doing actions, stuff that's capable of killing infantry, stuff that's capable of killing big monsters and tanks. So I think it just shows, I think, that those things are key. That versatility is key.
Yep. And he only played one Knight player. I think round 4 he played Mike, one of our
Mike Deleg.
the sixth place X and 1 Knight player.
Yeah.
So he said that I think it was game 4 on Hidden Supplies. I do remember him saying that that was like his ideal scenario for playing Knights was that layout and that mission.
Yeah. So he got given a gift, and he took advantage of it apparently, which is great. I mean, like that's what you have to do. That's adapting to the situation and using the tools that you have put in your toolbox.
Yeah, I mean
is what the game's all about.
The wind path really makes
a huge difference. I mean, who you get paired into makes.
Without like if you just look at the results, it's like, oh, X faction is the best, but really it's like, in my opinion, it's the wind path.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of bad matchups for anybody. I mean, with this many factions in the game, there's going to be something that you're weak to generally. Like occasionally you will get those armies that are just totally bonkers, bananas, cracked, and can just handle anything and everything, no problems. But
well, we had two strong players on some pretty strong looking Death Guard lists, and I was really surprised.
I was really surprised that they didn't do. I mean, but they did also. They knocked each other out early on.
Oh yeah.
Because Ken Edwards and Birmingham played against each other early.
Yeah, they played early. So
yeah. We're gonna get to that though. So let's move on down the list here and talk about our next one down. So we've got for our 4th place player, we've got Ed Curry.
Yeah, we got old Ed.
He's been here on stream before.
Yeah, he has. Last time on stream, he rolled my T-Sons with a guard list.
That's right. So, but he was playing Gene Stealer Cult Biosanctic Brood Surge.
He was playing
for this
Biosanctic?
Yeah, he was playing Biosanctic.
Oh, I thought he was playing.
No. And just like everybody else, he had an ass load of characters, man.
Dude, I play Ed a lot, and
yeah,
I've played his final day list the most, and I really like that list a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he brought that. He didn't bring that one this time though. So
No.
let me read off to you what he brought,
Okay.
and we can see what we think about it here. So 9 characters in this list, man.
Yeah.
So we've got an abominant with predatory instincts.
Yeah.
We have 2 other abominants with no enhancement.
I hate those guys so much.
We have 2 biophaguses with no enhancements. We have a patriarch with biomorph adaptation. And then we have 3 reductus saboteurs.
I hate those guys too.
Dude.
I hate all these.
That
GSC
is
dudes.
like, all right, just right there.
I
That's
hate
just,
it.
everything about that is frustrating.
Those bomb ladies.
From the rip.
Yeah, those bomb ladies can fuck off.
So then we got a squad of 10 acolyte hybrids.
Yeah.
A squad of 5 acolyte hybrids. More acolyte hybrids. A squad of 10 neophyte hybrids. Then we have 3 5-man aberrants. A 10-man hybrid metamorph. 5 pure strains, 5 pure sprains, 2 ridge runners, 1 with ridge runners. Both of them have heavy mortar. Okay, interesting. And then 1 Goliath truck.
I forget what they do. They give you like bonus AP, I think, when
Yeah.
they hit you.
So again, just a list with a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's GSC. It's
It
GSC
comes-
stuff. I mean, I think it just is. I think it is the.
That was a good list. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any. I'm not a GSC player, and you're not either, really.
I feel like I'm like an honorary GSC player because I play so much games against Ed.
Yeah.
We got to give Ed a big shout out. He's I think he's only been playing for 9 or 10 months.
Yeah, and he's a really good player.
He had a 4-1 finish at the
And he
GT.
also did win best paint because his army looks really, really good.
Yeah, he won best painted. He was technically the second best painted though. Because our best overall.
our best overall, DeLeggy,
Yeah.
he would have had it. So
He's got everything. Paint, 4-1 is doing a good job.
yeah, he's doing great.
All right.
So all right, moving on down the line. So we come down here to our good buddy Tim. So
Yeah.
Tim's night list here for Chaos Knights. He's doing Lords of Dread, so he's doing big knights. And we got Atropos. One has the Blade of Celerity, one has the Putrid Carapace. He's got a Despoiler with Warpborn Stalker, a Despoiler with double Gatling Cannon.
What's the first despoiler got?
Demon Breath's Thermal Cannon and a Gatling Cannon. So lots of Gatling Cannons here.
He's
So
got
many
3
Gatling
Gattlers.
cannons. 3 Gattlers.
Woo.
And then he's got a Stalker, a Beast of Nurgle, and then 2 Nurglings and Rodigus.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I was
again, it's just, it reminds me a lot of Otter's list in that there's a lot of big stuff and then there's some crap to do actions with.
We got to talk about it though.
Yeah, we got to talk about it.
Tim was sending me like 4 Chaos Knight lists a day, man. Like he was sending me so many lists, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what is good.
I think it's his process though is just to use you as a sounding board even if you don't say anything. I think he just throws the lists at you. I mean, I do that sometimes, man, where I'll talk to you about shit and you'll be like, yeah, you should do this, and then I do the total opposite thing.
Well, like from my perspective, if I was to build Chaos Knights, I would want to do the 3 abominants because they just ship mortals out.
Yeah.
But
No, that does seem fun.
I don't know what the detachments do. I don't know nothing about the book. Me and him.
No, they're so new. I haven't really had my time to sink my teeth into it yet, which is sad because I do play knights, and so it would be good for me to like actually look at it. I mean,
this is the sauce, I believe, because I didn't know what the detachment. I didn't know what none of the detachments does. He played me with a detachment where he got to empower his knights.
yeah.
So like they were taking mortals on themselves sometimes,
Okay.
and they were getting like sustained hits. And I think I had a narrow win with sisters just because I went second.
Yeah.
But like when I learned what this list did at the GT, I was like, it was appalling because he played on game 5. He played Robert.
Yeah.
And he did apparently 46 to 50 something mortals in explosion damage.
Yeah.
So at our GT we have round prizes, and the last round prize was biggest explosion. And apparently he has a stratagem to auto blow up on a 4-up, And apparently one of his explosions did 26 mortals
mortal wounds.
to a Death Guard army. So like I remember talking to Robert because Robert was like in shock. He was
yeah,
like,
Robert didn't appreciate that.
He was like, "What am I supposed to do about this? Like, what are you supposed to do about that?"
Well, Mr. Bond, I
Yeah.
expect you to die.
Yeah, what are you gonna do if you castle up and they blow up on you?
Yeah, you just you.
It's
yeah,
like
you
it's
die.
2d6 mortals to everything. I guess.
No, I think it's D6 plus 2.
Okay, is it d6 plus 2? That makes it even more impressive in my opinion, because to do 26,
Let me see here.
how many units do you have to hit? You're averaging like 5 mortals a pop. So he must have hit like 4 or 5 of his units.
Yeah, they're deadly. An Astropos is deadly demise D6 plus 2.
Okay, so
Yeah. When you said 2d6, I was like, no.
So
That's
on
not right.
average, he had to blow up and hit 5 units to do 26 mortals.
Yeah, because you should do an average of what, 5 per.
Yeah, it should be 5. On average, dice is 5. I mean, it could have been like he could have just rolled.
He could have
high.
spiked really good too.
Yeah, he could
I
have
mean,
spiked on
That's
like
probably what happened if we're
But-
being honest. But I guess we're gonna have to ask. at some
8,
point.
8. I mean, even if he spiked, he would have had to hit 4 things to do that much mortals,
Yeah.
and they would have all had to been 6s, except for like one of them. Yeah,
Well,
that was a hell of a.
no, cool list.
That was a hell of a game. I watched a lot of that game, and I was like early in the game, Tim was like, "I think I lost." He was like, "I think I lost it," and I came back around to the table later,
Mm-hmm.
and Tim was like giddy as hell, man. he was like bebopping and like he was so happy, and I was like, I don't know what happened, but Tim's winning now. Like,
It's because he exploded something to do that many mortals.
I wonder. Oh, also, I guess he could have hit himself with the mortals.
He probably did hit himself with something.
Yeah, he probably did hit himself. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
That was a cool game. I wonder if he had big explosions in his other games, but we didn't. We weren't tracking.
We weren't tracking it, so we don't know. We'll have to
Yeah.
ask him though. So.
All right, and then we
All
got
right. So then we got our 6th place list here, which is Mike DeLeggy. So
Mike DeLeggy, dude. He's had this night list for as long as I can remember.
it's a
he's-
great looking.
He's
list,
been a
too.
long time night player, yeah. And,
So-
he did really well this weekend.
Yeah. So he had Canis Rex. He had a Warden with Mythic Hero, which is the one that lets him toss out an extra bondsman. And then he had 3 Helverins and 6 Warglaves. That's the whole list, baby. That's all she wrote.
I think he had the most dogs out of any night.
Well,
player.
him and Blake both did basically the same archetype.
Blake. Well, yeah, Blake had 2. I think Blake had 2 of the Castellans.
I know he had at least one Castellan, and
Yeah,
he had Canis.
at least
I don't know
one.
if he had, I don't know what else the heck he had in there, honestly.
I don't know. I was talking to Blake, and I was like, "We need to get you some match poses, dog."
But yeah, I mean that's I mean this is one like I don't have much to say about this. It just does what's written on the tin. You
It
got a
just
lot
will.
of dogs, and you got a lot of big boy, and you got 2 big boys.
It was IK was already really good, and then now the
Yeah.
big guys like Canis got cheaper, and like I don't know, man. In a lot of respects, I think they are more scarier with more wounds. Like I would.
Yeah,
rather-
no, they are. I think they are. Like I initially was really, it hurt my feelings to lose a point of toughness on any of my knights, but then once ever you actually explained the math to me, I was like, oh yeah, this is 100% easily better. And in Imperial Knights, it's even better because all you have to do is pass 1 or 2 of those little feel no pains, and all of a sudden you are doing something.
Yeah, if you factor in the feel no
Yeah.
pain, not counting if they kill your warlord, but just
Oh
the
my
feel no
God.
pain alone basically cranks them up to 6 wounds, like mathematically.
Yeah,
Because, out of 14 damage it takes to kill them, on average, they're going to save 2 of them.
Yep.
So that's basically like
an extra 2 wounds on each
a
knight.
16 wound baby. And
Basically.
it only changes the math on
On strength 10 stuff.
strength 10 and strength 5.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, it changes on strength 9 too.
oh yeah, strength 9.
So it changes 3 places, but I mean, those 3 inflection points are not a problem.
I mean, it's nice for it to be like most melee units don't get above strength 10, so
Yeah.
a lot of melee units wound them easier, but they have more wounds, so it's like, And
Yeah.
with,
In a
I
lot of
like-
ways, it's a wash, but in some ways, it's a big win.
I like Valder's -1 damage on the guy on 2 of those guys is like, god dang.
Well, this list does that too.
Yeah, but this list does it too.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I don't remember which one of them was telling me. One of them was telling me that the -1 damage was like saving their bacon.
Yeah. So, I mean, cool list, but I mean, like I
Yeah.
say, it's obvious it does what it's on the tin.
It
So let's
do.
go to our next Imperial Knights player.
One more Imperial Knights.
Yeah, Minchel Kim. So he has got Canis, a Castellan, and then 4 Helverins and 5 Warglaves.
Okay, so he had a lot of dogs too.
Yeah, no. So I mean, okay. So apparently, like we had like 3 knight players that were basically playing that archetype, and
So he had a Castellan.
he had a Castellan. Yeah,
So he had the big boy too.
he had the big boy too.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what he does now, but I know he lost a 2-up.
Let's see, what do the Castellan be doing?
I know he lost his. I know he went to a 3-up, and that's really all I know.
Knight
I think he got
Castellan.
more wounds.
So he has 28 wounds.
I don't know if he had more. Or
So he gives armigers within 6 inches the benefit of cover,
okay.
and he gets to reroll damage rolls of 1 against monsters or vehicles
So this was
on ranged attacks.
This was the winner's hardest.
Okay, so I understand exactly why he's taken then. Okay.
He gives a what now to the armor?
Cover.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good, I guess.
No, that's very reasonable. Because what that does is that decreases your reliance on rotate ion shields.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
I never.
Because it means that you're going to get a 4-up on anything that's AP2.
I never seen if these knight guys, these IK guys, were slaying the warlords.
I have no idea if they did that either.
I don't know how many warlords got killed by knights, but
Yeah, I don't know if you can count on that or not. I mean, a lot of matches you can't.
I mean, if you have a warlord that's got to go do something, then it's gonna get dealt with.
Yeah.
But if you got a warlord that just sits in the back, then you're just gonna sit him in the back the whole
Yeah.
time. Like, we don't need these problems.
Yeah. Well, but I guess the takeaway here, Imperial Knight's good.
Knight's good.
No further nothing.
Knight's good. Fire dragons need to save us.
I have nothing to say about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we got for our 8th place player, and I think this is the last list we're going to go over. We had
Yep.
Robert Birmingham with Death Guard. So he
Yeah.
was doing a Virulent Vectorum list, which I think is probably, I mean, I like Mortarian's Hammer, but I think this is probably the better detachment at the end of the day because this one gives you sticky.
Yeah,
So-
the sticky was
It was big for him.
the
So
the matchup that he got a draw in. I was watching that matchup, and it was insane because at the end of the game, there was a Atropos, I believe, and there was like 3 or 4 of the little tanks.
yeah, the little blight haulers.
The little tanks were like, that was all that was left. There was an Atropos, there was the little man that comes out.
Sir Hector.
Yeah, Sir Hector.
Yeah, he was sitting on home
There was
objective.
Sir Hector and Atropos, and there was like 4 little tanks in
Yeah.
the center of the board, and I was like, "Whoa, looks amazing."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, you're gonna take it." I was like, "Knights are gonna take it, man, because if he holds 2 over his 1," but then he was like, "Well, I got sticky."
Yep.
And I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, and Birmingham plays very aggressively. Every time I've ever seen him play, he definitely like. So this suits his play style in that way because he can just push forward and not really worry about holding backfield or midfield stuff that he's not fighting actively over. So, but let me
Yeah.
tell you what he's got in here. So he's got the Biologus Putrefier. He's got a Lord of Contagion. He's got a Lord of Contagion with Furnace of Plagues. He's got a Malignant Plague Caster, and he has Typhus.
Okay.
So then that's all for the characters. Then he had a 10 banger of Plague Marines. He had a Chaos Rhino. He had a squad of a Spawn, triple 3-man Death Shrouds, a Flesh Mower Bloat Drone, 3 Heavy Blight Launcher Bloat Drones, 3 Mephitic Blight Haulers, and 2 10-man Poxwalkers.
It's almost like an armature spam.
It is. I mean, and this is really, I mean, I talked to Birmingham about this list because it's really similar to like what I would play in Death Guard if I was going to play them with my stuff right now. if I hadn't loaned all my death card to Cole.
I think Virulent Vectorum gives the playcaster a crit 5s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I mean, like it's a very strong list. Like,
yeah, I mean it's like a stat check, and he had how many of the Death Shrouds?
3x3, and he had 2 Lords of Contagion and Typhus. So literally exactly how I run the Death Shrouds that I run them.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much exactly how I was messing around with it before
I mean, I think it's just really a really optimal package.
I really like the 3. Like the Death Shrouds are like so cheap for what they do. You just kind of like, I don't really like the big ones because once they come down, they're stuck wherever they're at.
Yeah, but the 3-mans with a Lord of Contagion or with Typhus just punch well above their weight, and they take a lot to remove. So
I'm not sure if he was putting Typhus with him or not. I saw one game. I know I saw Typhus kill a knight one game with his mortals, I think, but I didn't really get to watch a lot of his games. But he won our last GT, and
he did. So I had really high expectations for him.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. When I saw him sign up with Death Guard, and it looks like a really strong list, I was like, ooh,
yeah,
this guy might take it.
I mean, he did really well overall, but I mean, he did just unfortunately, like, he ran into, he ran into that draw, and I think that
he got the draw
that hurt him, and then he ended up with
and
what did he lose to?
He lost to Tim. Did like 50.
Oh, that's right. He lost to that whole.
Tim did like 46 to 50 mortals to his army, and we were talking about it. Like, I think the average army's like 100 to 120 wounds.
Yeah.
So
that's half your army in just mortals, and then the knights do have the ability to do a lot of other damage on top of that. So
yeah, that's just what happens when they die. That's not counting
counting while they're alive.
Their guns and their melees and the tank shocks, and that's just in death.
Yeah. So, okay. So we've gone over our top 8 lists. What else did we want to talk about at all?
We were thinking about some potential changes, maybe doing some set layouts for day 1, and
yeah, we did get that feedback of we wanted to I mean, and that makes sense. We did because we did a half and half mix of layout 1 and layout 7. And we've seen, when we went to Mayhem this year, we saw that they had 1 layout day 1 and then 1 layout day 2. And that just created a level of consistency. And I think that probably should be what we move towards in the future. I mean, you talked about doing a split layout on day 1 and then doing a set layout of everybody on 1 layout on day 2. And like, maybe we'll do that, try that at some point as well.
Yeah, we got to work on that because we got to see what other layouts that we want to include.
Yeah, I mean, we still haven't totally digested the entire mission pack yet. All the little small changes have been way more impactful than I thought they would be as far as what that means.
We haven't played layout 8 yet, so we need to see how that layout feels.
We play on some of that several times.
I like the old layout 8, but I don't think it was popular.
Well, it was definitely not popular with TOs because it was a pain in the ass to set up.
Well, now it's way easier because the little catty quarter crates are just straight lines now.
Yep.
So like, if it's a straight line, so like
we played on it one time so far. I feel like we played on it because we played on a game where I played my Voten.
Might have been in the league. I accidentally played layout 7.
No, we played. I mean, you and I played a layout 8 game.
You did a layout 8?
Yeah, we played layout 8. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't.
It was pretty good. It worked out okay.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, you don't remember it. It was so.
Well,
so uneventful that you don't remember.
That's good. That's good.
I'll remind you.
It's good if I don't remember it, because like if I remembered it, I would probably be more apt to remember it if it was bad.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, we need to look at that because I mean, like when you're talking about setting up like 30 plus tables, like trying to do layout 6 is like doing all those little corners. It's a nightmare. But like layout 7 and layout 8 are straight. Yeah. They're like layout 1 in that regard, so they are a lot easier to set up. And I think layout 7 is like probably one of my favorite layouts.
I really like it a lot. I really like new layout 7. It's very good. It feels very fair, very reasonable for everybody.
I've been playing on it a lot to get ready for ATC because I'm gonna be a ATC defender with a melee. Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of layout 7.
Don't give away all of our secrets,
dude.
People have been actually watching, so
it's not gonna help us.
Anyway,
it's not gonna hurt us.
and we have hit, by the way, because you did want me to be cognizant of time. We have hit 45 minutes.
Oh Lord.
So
Well, let's do our promotion. We still got our YouTube promotion for subscribers and
that's
commenters.
right. So until July 17th, so right after ATC, we are running that. If you, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. You'll be entered. If you have subscribed, leave a comment on our video. And either way, please leave some likes. It helps us to keep making content. It helps us to keep pushing forward with some of this stuff. And if you want to see more of what we're doing, then giving us that is going to get you that.
Yeah, we're working on our first hundo subscribers, and then I guess we'll be like
and then we're gonna be
eyeballing our first 1,000.
Yeah, and we'll continue to do some really cool promotions, and we got some other cool ideas for what to do to kind of spice up the overall content of the channel, get some more stuff on here for you guys to watch. But if you guys have anything in particular that you want to see, please leave a comment and tell us what that is, and we can.
We need a cool idea on how we're gonna determine, we're gonna pick whoever wins randomly, but we need a cool idea to do it randomly.
I've got some cool ideas in that regard, man.
Yeah,
I've got some cool ideas. So
yeah, we could steal the marble race idea.
We could,
because there's gonna be a lot of duplicates.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think. In terms of that, though, I think we should have our next GT. We should be able to stream our next GT.
Yes, we should be able to have we'll have a streaming table set up for the next GT.
We should be able to stream. And speaking of that GT is it's already. We just listed it today.
Just listed it on BCP today, so that is going to be for
September
27th and 28th.
Yep.
So, and we were doing that one. We're doing that one at a different location. We're doing that one at Borderlands of Greenville.
Yep. We're gonna have way more space.
Yeah, they just have a little more space. We love Game Castle of Greenville.
We do.
Let us do many events there, but unfortunately, we really can't put more than 40 people in that space. So.
Yeah, we can't put more than 40. We had a lot of people that wanted to come to this last one, and we just didn't have the space.
I had a huge wait list, and we went through some of it, and I still had people on the wait list whenever we. I still had people on the wait list.
Yeah, so we had some random. I cleared one spot a couple days before, and before you had
somebody hop on there. I hated that.
Before you had time to even go through the wait list.
So. No, we're gonna hopefully get everybody who wants to get a ticket to this one will be able to get a ticket. So
yeah, I'll be surprised if we hit 60, but we have up to 60, and we have.
Let's put out the call. We want to get 60.
Yeah, we do want 60.
Anybody who is anybody who's watching who wants to come to beautiful Greenville, South Carolina, and play in an awesome tournament of some Warhammer with us. You can hang out with us. See that we are just as stupid in real life as we are on stream.
Probably more.
Probably stupid.
Probably. But we get but dude, the tournaments are going successful, people.
No, we're having an awesome time giving out a lot of prizes, because we had 13 prizes that we gave out?
Yeah, we prized out
about 13 prizes.
So I was thinking about it. The goal was so the idea was to have basically prizes that basically paid for 11 people's tickets at least that won a prize.
And we definitely did more than that, because we gave out plenty of boxes. We gave out an army case. We gave out tickets to other events. Some of our events, we gave out a ticket to an upcoming event that's about 40 minutes north of us as well. So we had all kinds of stuff, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better from there, because now we got a swag man on top of the swag. Who's gonna? We
just did raw prizes this time. All the money went to just you get a kit. You get a kit.
Well, but it worked. I mean, I think everybody was happy with that. I didn't see there was no hesitation. So.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, I think it's nice to get your ticket basically paid for.
Yeah.
And then the way we do round prizes ensures that people that wouldn't normally get prizes are getting.
Yeah, you don't have to actually do that well at the tournament in order to get a round prize. Just you can show up and do something weird in a game and totally get a whole $60 kit or a ticket to another event.
You can be a 1 in 4 or a 2 in 3 player, and you're still going to get a good prize pick.
We did give a prize to the last place player too. That was the first time we've done that, and I think we're going to keep doing that or something very similar to that. So
yeah, that worked out good, man. I think that was good.
All right. Well, I think we're getting close to our time limit. We're gonna hit 50 minutes here, brother. So.
Oh yeah, that's long.
Anyway, so YouTube, like and subscribe. Pound that like button. Pound that subscribe button. Leave us some comments. Leave us some feedback.
Yes.
Show us your love, and we will show you the plastic in return.
Yeah, we will show you our plastics.
So remember to keep that safety always off.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.